Hey guys, this is Akshay Madan. Welcome back to a new video. In this video, we will be with Nidhi, who cracked Deutsche Bank internship in her third year, and she also managed to get the PPO. So she will be sharing all her experiences, the interview experience, the technical round experience, HR round, everything. And this video will not be focusing on just technical. We will be also knowing about her interests, her hobbies, her college life, and what are her future plans. So stay tuned, and I hope this video will help you a lot. Hi Nidhi, how are you? How are you doing today?
Hi Akshit, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also doing good. So, before we begin the main topic, a short introduction of yourself would be great.
Hello everyone, I'm Nidhi Kauta and I'm currently in my final year and I'm pursuing my Bachelor of Engineering from Pune Institute of Computer Technology. My department is Computer Science. I'm interested in the field of software development and I'm currently seeking opportunities for the same. And I've been born and brought up in Pune only, so yeah, Punekar by heart.
Okay, nice. So, all the guys who don't know, we are from the same college and we are in the same class also. Before we get into the main technical stuff, what do you think? Is college life going good, or you fastly want to get into the job world? What are your thoughts?
Enjoy the remaining few months of my college life. At the same time, I'm excited to join the work life.
Okay, nice. So, are you planning something for these couple of months? Like any enjoying thing you want to do before getting into the main corporate sector thing?
I want to go on trips with my friends,
Okay,
with my college friends.
okay. So, let's start from the beginning. Many students have this common confusion between DSA and CP. So, what's the difference between them?
Okay, so DSA is more based on how we use different data structures. Once we get to know which data structure is to be used where, the logic part is comparatively simple. But a CP question might be a question on a simple math topic as well, say GCD or HCF, which we have learned in our school. But solving that problem and the logic behind that problem is difficult. So this is the major difference between DSA and CP.
Yeah, I recently also made one video about DSA versus CP. There also I covered all the pros and cons of both the sectors, DSA and CP versus development coding it was. So I also covered all these steps and all these points. So according to you, what do you think? When should a student start? In first year, second year, or in third year? According to you, because this is also a very common doubt.
You can always start from the first year, second sem. You anyway have a subject in your college, a programming subject. So you can choose a programming language of your own, be it C++, Java or Python. Then you can start practicing on websites like HackerRank. And then in your second year, you would have data structures and object-oriented programming in the college curriculum. So that time you can get basic concepts related to DSA and OOPS cleared and start practicing on LeetCode and GFG. And if you're interested in solving math problems, implementation problems, then you can start with CP2 in your second year.
Okay, and when did you start?
I started in my first year only when the lockdown was just imposed in India.
Okay, and which platform did you begin with?
I started with HackerRank.
Okay, same one. I also started with HackerRank.
When I completed those stars, I shifted to HackerDot. Then
Okay.
I solved a good 60-70 questions and then shifted to LeetCode and GFG.
Okay, so let's say many of the students also complete 5 stars in HackerRank. So what do you think? Is it enough to be called at least a beginner stage? At least he or she has covered the beginner stage of DSA. What do you think? 5 stars in HackerRank.
Getting the syntax right wala phase. You are clear with the syntax, but then the real DSA is in LeetCode and GFG.
Okay, great. So now if we just get into your internship thing, how was the whole procedure? Can you just summarize it from filling the form of the Deutsche Bank till getting the PPO? Because you got the placement through a PPO, right? So if you can explain the complete procedure, how many rounds were there in the interview, what all tests were taken, the complete thing.
Yeah. So it was an on-campus internship drive. A form was circulated among all the students for registration. and the company had a minimum criteria of 8 CGPA. And all the eligible students had to give a coding round.
Okay.
And from the coding round, around like 7 or 8 students were selected for the interviews, and 3 of us went till the last round, and all of us got the internship. This was in September 2021.
Okay.
And the internship started at the end of May 2022, and it was for 2 months. It ended in July, and the last week of our internship, we had interviews scheduled for the pre-placement offers. In that round, we had 3 interviews in total, 2 technical rounds and 1 professional fitness round. And depending on the performance in the interviews and the internship, PPOs were given.
Okay, so you were in third year when this company came, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and can you just explain all the technical questions that there were in the technical test, in that MCQ test? Basically the topics, not the exact question, just the topics.
Okay. The online coding round had around 7 to 8 MCQs in one section and 2 coding questions in the second section. So the MCQs consisted of basic data structures such as finding time complexities of the algorithms. Then it also had MCQs on core subjects like SQL. It had 1 or 2 questions on SQL queries. And then there were questions on OS and CN basics too.
Okay.
And there were questions which are related to code snippet. Like a code snippet is given and we have to find the correct output. So these were the MCQ questions. And then the 2 coding questions were pretty easy. Like the first one was based on array and it was an easy level question.
Okay.
The second one was a standard dynamic programming question.
Okay. And in the first question that you mentioned, that was easy. Which topic it was? Like array. But in array, like sorting, searching, or any other topic?
Yeah, it was I think related to sorting.
Okay, sorting.
Nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so this was about the technical test. So if we like have to take, if you have to just name 3 or 4 main subjects that are there in the whole computer engineering syllabus, and yeah, this video can be helpful for all the electronics background students, IT or freshers, because ultimately you have to also practice DS and CP if you want to get into software development field, right? So which all subjects you would mention that yeah, you have to do these subjects? One will be DBMS, one will be CN, OOP, then operating systems, and any other that I have left. Which one?
Object-oriented programming.
Yeah, OOP. Okay, and DSS stuff will always be there. Okay, so now if we just have to get into your internship, interview like scenario. So how did it begin? How did it end? What questions were asked?
Okay, so I had 3 interviews, 1 technical, 1 professional fitness and 1 HR. In the technical interview, the interview first asked me about myself.
Okay.
And I was a bit nervous because it was my very first interview.
Okay.
So she made me comfortable, and I found it really good that interviewers are make us feel good in the interviews. So she then asked me about my projects in detail, and she emphasized more on why a particular tech stack was used. Like for example, I had used MySQL in one of my projects. So she asked why I didn't use MongoDB or any other NoSQL database. So yeah, I had my answers, and she also was keen in knowing the motive or objective behind my projects. So one tip for everyone would be make projects which have some real life use or applications, and try to make a product which can be used by a user.
Okay.
Don't just make the projects just for the sake of it or for college activities.
Right, and what was your project?
I had 2 projects, 2 web development full stack projects.
Okay.
Both of them were college approved. One was making the entire salary software for our college, and the second one was a mental health analyzer, or to connect students, teachers and a psychiatrist, like a college psychiatrist, when the lockdown hit time during the COVID-19 pandemic, when mental health was in focus.
Okay, so this is also a very common myth, or a common doubt of the students. So they ask us that let's say you have built a project in MERN stack. So will that affect the complete interview process? Like, will the interviewer ask more question on the MERN stack, or they will be ready with their own question set and they will ask from that set only? How is that thing?
depends on the interviewer. Like, if that interviewer has experience in modern stack, he'll definitely go into the depth. But then if the interviewer has come with a mindset that he has to ask these specific questions, he would ask those questions only.
Okay.
But you have to be prepared with your project, and you should know your project and tech stack well.
Yeah, like you can't just copy that project from GitHub and show in the resume, right? Okay. So apart from projects, so what DSA questions were asked?
Okay, so she started with basic DSA questions like what are data structures, their applications, and how are stacks and queues implemented. Which data structures would be used to implement like stacks and queues, that we use arrays or linked lists.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she started with that. Then she gave me a programming question to solve, that is binary search.
Okay.
I had to solve it iteratively and recursively. I had to code it in front of her. I knew it, so I could solve it.
Okay. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then she also has some basic OOPS concepts. Like now, DB comes into a kind of fintech domain. So their security and all is a concern. And OOPS concepts are used in depth. So they'll definitely ask OOPS in your interviews.
Okay. And like, was this interview on Google Docs, like as it usually happen, the online interviews, through when you are connected through a meet and you have to solve it on a Google Doc?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So in interview, basically binary search was asked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And apart from the two interviews, you said that, okay, there were 3 interviews, right?
Yeah, there were 3 interviews.
So apart from technical, what were the other 2?
The other 2 were professional fitness and HR round.
Yeah, so can you explain more about that? Because I have heard that people or the students usually get rejected at these points also, because they are highly, they have a high technical sound mind, but sometimes, communication skills or sometimes some things can happen. So any experience you want to share, or what questions were asked basically in that?
In HR round, like general questions were asked, like how was your day, then what extracurricular activities are you involved in, then do you know more things about TP, like in general such questions were asked. But then you have to answer in a particular way, like you just have to be yourself, and you should not pretend to be someone else, because they'll make it out in the HR round. And yeah, communication skills are important, but I would say even if you're just yourself, that is enough.
Okay. And do you know the questions that were asked to other 2 guys who were also selected? Any questions they must have shared?
Yeah, so even they were asked similar questions, like those who were proficient in Java, for them Java object-oriented programming was asked in depth.
Okay.
So that was one thing, and they were asked to code algorithms like bubble sort, quick sort, merge sort.
Okay. So basically searching and sorting are like highly important topics.
Yeah, are focused.
Okay. So like, let's say you have to pick 5 data structures or 4 to 5 concepts that are there in DSA and which are highly important. Which one will they be?
Okay, so consider like the basic arrays and strings is one. Then consider trees, graphs, dynamic programming. Yeah.
Okay. So
3D algorithms.
Okay, got it. So now how was your internship experience? Like, you must have learned a lot of things when you actually went there on the Pune campus. And how like what tech stack you were working on there?
Okay, my internship experience was amazing. We had an offline in-office internship.
Yeah.
So we used to go daily from Monday to Friday to the office. And I worked on DevOps section. Like we worked on building the CI/CD pipeline for a Python-based application.
Okay.
And so for those of you who do not know what is CI/CD, it is the entire process of committing a code, then building it, testing it, and deploying it. And all of it is automated. So that is what CI/CD is. So the tech stack that we used was Bitbucket, like Git, Jenkins. Then the application was deployed on OpenShift, which is a cloud platform by Red Hat.
Okay. So were you already having the experience in this field, or they only introduced these tech stacks to you?
experience in DevOps. So basically, when the internship starts, there is a mentor, manager, and buddy system. So managers are the ones in front of whom we have to present our work at the end of our internship, and mentors are the ones who guide us from time to time, like whatever we have to learn. Then they'll share resources, like they'll say Google this and this, and you will get to know like how to solve this problem. So that is what mentors do. And buddies are like recent graduates who help us out when we get an error, or in general also they tell us more about the office and all those things.
Okay, so like just getting back to our competitive programming section or the TSS stuff, like people are also confused, or they are usually comparing this lead code and code forces. So what is the difference? Like who should do what?
If you are interested in cracking Mang company,
Okay.
and you're interested in competitive programming and you like those challenging questions, then code forces is your
Okay.
cup of tea. Otherwise, I would say focus on lead code. Lead code is good, like you get good companies. Even you can crack a few of Mang companies also by lead code practice.
Okay. And in lead code, the questions are divided into easy, medium, and hard. So
Right.
did you practice hard problems also, or like till medium it is enough? What's the scene?
Like at that time I practiced hard problems which are standard, and medium problems which are like regular medium problems. So medium problems are enough. to
Okay, medium problems are
crack
enough.
it. Yeah.
Okay. And like does Deutsche Bank hire off campus also, or like do they hire only on campus?
They do not hire off campus for freshers.
Okay.
They hire only on campus.
Okay, nice. And any books that you want to suggest? Because some people are really book buddies and they want to read the concept from book. Otherwise, they won't understand. So, any book that you want to recommend, or any book that you used to crack it?
I didn't refer to any book as such, but I would say I completed all the college assignments sincerely. So,
Okay.
there my DSA and OOPS practicals were, I performed them really sincerely, and I got a good grasp over data structures. And then later I practiced all of it on LeetCode and GFG.
Okay, so you are saying that college curriculum is sufficient. If you practice the computer engineering curriculum that university provides, it is enough to crack placements. If you are practicing lead code, if you are practicing HackerRank problems alongside at your home, that's good enough.
Yeah, it is good enough. And see, if you do it, you'll score good in your exams also. So
Exactly.
at the end, CGPA also matters.
Yeah.
The company had 8 CGPA criteria, which is not like a small number.
Yeah, right. So let's say I'm in first year, or I'm at the start of my second year, and I want to crack Deutsche Bank today. Not today. I am taking this oath today that I want to crack it. This is my dream. So what should be my next 3 months roadmap?
Okay, so if you are in your second year and you haven't started with any programming language, then choose one of your choice and just be confident about the syntax. I wouldn't say go in the depth, that much is not required. Just know your syntax, then start practicing it on coding platforms such as LeetCode and GFG. And if you're initially you're finding it difficult, solve it according to tags. Say for example, start with arrays, and once you think you're able to solve easy level questions quickly and medium level questions by a bit of effort, move to the next data structure. At the same time, practice the previous data structures as well, so that you don't lose the touch. And after you're done with all this practice, you would be ready to solve questions randomly also.
Okay.
So questions randomly after that.
And did you also solve any DPP sheets? Because many YouTubers are having their own DP sheets and they're really good. So which one did you refer?
Okay, so I follow Striver's content a lot, and I think I've followed everything, and his SD sheet is really good. At the same time, Love Papa's SD sheet is also good.
Okay, and how many questions are there in these sheets?
Love Papa's sheet has, I think, 350 questions, and SD sheet has 180, 190 questions.
Okay, and if I complete that sheet, so am I ready for it? I'm ready for the interviews.
Yeah, you are ready for the interviews.
Okay.
At least like you would know the pattern of questions.
Exactly.
So, yeah, similar questions would be only asked.
So the final trick is to get the strategy to solve any problem. So once you get this once you get the strategy, you can solve any problem, right?
Like finding patterns and correlating questions is important, and just the quality of questions matters, not the quantity.
Right, exactly. And how many questions did you solve on lead code? Because many students are like fighting with each other. I solved 600 problems. I solved 1000 problems. What is your number?
When I had gotten the internship, I solved like around 130, 140 questions.
Okay, nice. Right, because you just mentioned that quality is more important than the quantity.
Right. And apart from it, you do practice on other platforms as well, right?
Right. So now if you just want to get into the general stuff about yourself, like apart from programming, what are your hobbies?
From programming, I love to cook and bake.
Okay.
I try to cook something daily, and I have been reading a lot lately. So yeah, cooking and reading.
Okay. So actually these questions are also asked in HR round. So these questions are also important. So you said that cooking, baking and reading, right?
Yeah, and everyone should mention should keep a small section for hobbies or interests in your resume. That is important.
Okay. So like when did you choose software engineering as your passion?
When I did this internship, I guess before TB, I did not have a clear path. कि मुझे exactly क्या करना है. Because in college we don't know how the software industry works. I used to be confused. Everyone used to have different choices of domains, and one senior used to say CP कर लो, CP से होगा. Then other senior used to say development भी important है. So I had tried all of this, but then now when I did an internship in DevOps, which was really new to me, and I enjoyed doing it. So that is when I realized this is my passion.
So like when you get into the college, when you got into the college, there are so many clubs. Like first year students are usually confused in this thing only, which club they should enter into. So what is your favorite, which one is your favorite technical club and which one is your favorite non-technical club? Because I know that you are in almost every club. So yeah.
So for me, my favorite club would be PCSB, because when I joined, it was a really small club. And
can you just elaborate the full form of it?
PCSB, like PICT CSI Student Branch.
Okay, CSI Student Branch. Okay.
Yeah.
And non-technical?
Non-technical would be Debate Society.
Okay.
Because I was a part of it.
Okay, and so my final question will be, what are your future plans? So do you want to do MS, MBA, or you want to get into the software field more? You want to explore any other passion?
Both. But right now, all I want to do is work in the software industry for a few years.
Okay. Great. So this was it, guys. I hope you liked it. This was very point-to-point and concise session. We wanted to keep it short and just important stuff we wanted to include. So thanks a lot, Nidhi. It was really a nice session.
Yeah, Akshit, and you guys can connect to me on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, all the links will be in the description. I hope you like this video. If you want me to make more videos, connect with people and bring them on my YouTube channel, just put that in the comment section, and all the links, all the important links are there in the description. Stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and till the next content, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.